Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. Today I have a new palette from Morphe. And when I first saw this palette, I literally had to double or triple take. This is the palette I'm talking about. This is the 35A Up Till Dawn palette. When I saw the pictures of it, I was genuinely confused. I thought, well, I already have that. Don't I already have that? I have to already have that. How do I not already have that? That looks just like one that I already have. I don't have anything with this cover on it though. So I was like, I don't understand. This is the palette. It's a gorgeous palette, right? It's a rainbow palette. Not like your primary color rainbow palettes, but a gorgeous palette. So as I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, doesn't that look a lot like, oh, I don't know, maybe this one? This is the Desert Bouquet palette. Okay, if not that one, how about this one? This is a Sweet Oasis palette. Didn't we already do this? Didn't we already do this palette? Now, I can tell you that the main difference is, oh, then I grabbed one other one that kind of reminded me of it too. There's this one. That one looks like it as well, but maybe not as much. So anyway, I was genuinely confused because I could have sworn I already had this palette. So this is the new one. This is the Up Till, oh, Allie. This is the Up Until Dawn Artistry palette. And the main difference between this and the Sweet Oasis palette, like the first glance, what you see, oh my gosh, these palettes are the mega palettes, so they're huge. The first thing that you notice is that the blues in Sweet Oasis are more aqua, and then they're more of like, there's more green in the Up Till Dawn. That's kind of the main difference. Otherwise, you've got some hot pinks, we've got some shimmers, we've got some mattes. There are no pressed glitters in either one of them that I can see. And as I'm looking at both of them, I loved this Sweet Oasis palette. I kind of think I might like this Up Till Dawn one a little bit better. And here's the reason why. You've got some of these gorgeous colors that I would wear on a regular basis. This one right here, this one, absolutely. We've got a couple of little kind of grungy greens. When I'm normally doing like just everyday makeup, frankly, I'm kind of just doing a shade or two. I rarely go into a bunch of shades. So I figured let's do 3 looks with this palette. I also picked up a couple other products while I was there. Morphe came out with a sculpting powder blush in, what shade did I get? I got Coppertunity. I guess like Opportunity, but Coppertunity. I do have kind of a mishmash of stuff going on my face already. I've got the e.l.f. Halo Glow, as well as a combination with the ColourPop Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. I've been enjoying this combination very, very, very much. And I also have a little of the JCat Masterclass Face FX color palette. I picked this like second to the darkest shade just to do a little bit of bronzing and contouring. So that's all I have on my face right now. This is the blush, super dark. Let's just go ahead and pick up a little bit of this and see what it looks like on the cheek here. I thought, and I think Morphe was having a sale. There's been a bunch of sales going on right now. The one that I thought interested me the most that we're already sold out of. And this one I'm like, well, Coppertunity, that could be kind of a bronzery color as well. That's a beautiful shade. I love that. Wow. Okay. I was worried that when I saw this that it was going to be too pigmented, but I'm kind of digging it. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, I am not sponsored, affiliate, endorsed by Morphe. I get nothing in PR. I bought all this stuff with my own money. My huge collection of Morphe Mega palettes and all the other sizes of palettes that I bought from Morphe, I have purchased with my own money. My interest in Morphe goes back a number of years. They were really a way to get a bunch of relatively decent quality shades for not very much money. And I'm all about playing with things and getting a good value, and so that's kind of where I'm at. I have really enjoyed when Morphe has their sales on their like these liner sticks. Is this one of them? No, that's a different brand. How about this one? So when they have these liner sticks, sometimes you can get them for $2, $3, $4, and I'll buy a bunch of them at the time. So I have a bunch of them. Right now I have Gemma. Where's it at? I have Gemma all over my, as a liner, and just kind of filled in a little bit too. Because I picked up, while I was there and got this blush in the palette, I picked up 3 of the glosses too. And I can't remember if this was a kit or if I bought these individually. But let me tell you what shades I got. They're all of them are glosses. I got, they're upside down, Pixie, Venus, and Freebird. Pixie seems like it might be a little grayish. Kind of a grayish taupe, but let's take a look at this. It is a cool tone, not unlike like Cool Girl, actually. Too Faced Cool Girl. Seems like a little bit like that. A little bit of a maybe slight dusty rose to it, but definitely a cool tone. This next one's called Freebird. Let's open up Freebird. Okay, so this one's Freebird. Oh, see, that's even more cool toned. That's a little bit more of a, almost like a yellow tinge to it. No, not a yellow. It looks yellow in the mirror, but that's not it. So that's even cooler, less pink than the one that I thought was going to be a little bit more cool toned. Okay, and then this is the one that I thought would be probably the most, I don't know, my favorite of the three. We'll just see. This one's called Venus. I feel like I have this one, but maybe not. Okay, all three of those shades are so similar. I think they all could be just completely interchangeable. I feel like Freebird and, no, I feel like Venus and Pixie were the closest in tone. Freebird might be my favorite. I'm gonna put on, I'm gonna actually wear all of them right now. Actually, no, I'm not gonna wear them all right now. This is the one that I thought might be too cool tone, but the first look I wanna do is gonna be kind of smoky and dark. Since I'm gonna do 3 looks, I'm gonna do one kind of daytime friendly look. I'm gonna do one more date night look, and then one I'll do just a fun daytime, and I might change up the gloss after that. But that's the gloss on top of that lip liner. Morphe glosses are fine. I don't have any issues with them at all. I feel like I need a little bit of powder, but you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and powder the face just a little bit. Take some of that glow off so it's not distracting us. I'm just gonna grab the RCMA powder because it's conveniently located on my filming table. And frankly, it's gonna take me forever to get through this ginormous bottle. I got mine at Beauty Bay. If you haven't tried the RCMA setting powder, and you have a need for a super reliable, consistent setting powder, I can absolutely recommend this one. Okay, that blush shade, even though I thought it was going to be too dark, actually is, I really like it. I will absolutely use that one again. Okay, the palette is huge. You have so many choices in here. It's almost a little overwhelming. So sometimes when I look at palettes, I like to look, you know, down a row or down a column or in a square, sometimes a diagonal to get some inspiration. There are so many choices, and all of those look like great options. Like it doesn't matter if I look at a square like this. Wow, I can see that look. I can see that look. You know, I can see kind of just building a beautiful combination of mattes and shimmers. I'm just super excited about this palette. I just think it actually looks really pretty. I'm gonna grab this shade right here called Private Suite. It's this kind of like a dusty pink, and we're gonna start with that. A little bit of kick up like I would expect from a Morphe quality of eyeshadow. I didn't scoot you in. I'm sorry. Hold on. So a little bit of kick up, like I said, and as pigmented as I would expect. Totally fine. Okay, I'm gonna go into, I think I'm gonna actually take this on my finger next to this shimmer right here. This isn't really gonna be a work look, is it? Do I need to keep this as a work look? I am gonna take it. It's stirred. It's kind of like this plummy burgundy color. And it is a little bit of a shimmer, so I'm not going to go all the way out, but I'm going to do a little bit kind of on the outer half, kind of a little bit at an angle. I'm going to blend it with another shade here in a second. Wow, that's super pretty. Go back into Private Suite and use that to kind of soften up. It's right along the outside again. If this is a work look, then I'm going to want to keep it kind of clean, not get too crazy with it, not to get too distracting with it. Wow, those shades are really beautiful. I think I want to take Pearly Hours, which is this one right here. Okay. Clearly dug my finger into a shade because now I have eyeshadow underneath my fingernail. Okay, so I'm going into Pearly Hours and just lightly swiping that on. That feels very fall. Losing like that, yeah. Wow, for if I wanted like a plummy work look, yeah, I could do that. I work in a corporate environment, so when I think about work looks, I think about things that are going to be, you know, appealing, not aggressive, not too scary. Not too much of a notice me intentional distraction, but something that still is flattering. Yeah, I like that a lot. I need to put some eyeshadow on and need to put some mascara on, but I'll come back to that in a second. Okay, so let's do something a little bit more on the date night side. I'm gonna start with the shimmer on my lid, and I think I'm gonna try this Island Lover. I wish this palette had a mirror in it, but I think if it had a mirror, it would have greatly increased the cost. And these tend to be pretty good value, and Morphe does a lot of sales too. So I know sometimes they have some, not this one I just looked, but sometimes they have ones that are like 50% off. So instead of spending $24 or $30, give or take, for the palette, sometimes you can get it for even cheaper than that, which is nice. Okay, so that's a pretty shade. It's not one that I would normally use, so that's kind of fun. I'm gonna go into, it's a little bit too big. It's a little bit too small. Okay, I'm gonna go into Up Teal Down, which is right here. This is almost hard to hold in my hand, this palette. I almost want it to just, in fact, I'm just gonna leave it laying down, and I'll just pick it up when I show you guys colors because it's too heavy to just hold in my hand. I'll take a little bit more of that. So this is just the second color. Feeling all kinds of mermaidy vibes with this. Super pretty though. I am gonna go significantly darker on the outer side, but I'm gonna take that, whatever the dregs of that shade are, down my lash line just a little bit. In fact, I might get more. This one's the up teal down. Yeah, I like that. Does good things for brown eyes, you know? Actually do what I've been doing lately, and I'm gonna take this shade right here called Tidal River, which is a matte. I'm going to use that on my inner corner. I've really been liking mattes on my inner corner as opposed to too shiny. I know I did a little bit. Well, no, I didn't recommend it. I didn't say I thought I did something shiny over there, but I didn't really. But doing a matte that's even in the same color family, yeah, that's really pretty. This is one of the only ways I would do a pastel. Pastel minty green. Yeah. Inner quarter, just to brighten things up a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to take the shade called Nocturnal, which is right here, and I'm going to put it at my lash line and then just kind of tap it up into this sort of C shape here and take a little bit of it down here and merge in with that other green, kind of a seafoamy green. Now, I have close set hooded eyes, so one of the things I constantly have to do is look straight in to see if I've got the shape right, because sometimes when you're looking straight at me, you don't even notice the lid color until I blink. I have to make sure I'm getting shape I want right, and then I can take like a clean brush and soften it up and then still leave the majority of color thing. I'm still literally just holding this up. It's killing my wrist. I don't know why I keep holding it up. Like I said, it's a great way to try a bunch of shades, and the Morphe formula seems to be very consistent to me, but it's not convenient to hold up one of those big palettes, and it's not super convenient to travel with it. So if you just wanted a palette that's going to sit on your vanity that you can use, this is a great option for that. I'm going to take just a little bit more of Island Lover, just kind of press it into that seam to shade out just a little bit more. Okay, yeah, those greens are really pretty. I want to take another darker shade. I'm going to go into In Deep, which is the black in here. I could use the dark brown called Mystique, but I'm going to take In Deep and just richen that up just even a little bit more, and keeping that really just a lash line. I like that a lot. I feel like I want one more shade. I think I'm going to take the shade called Tantalizing, which is this one right here. I'm going to put a little bit of it right in here, just kind of soften up. That works for date night. Okay, let me put on some mascara on both eyes and I'll be right back. Okay guys, back with mascara on. I've got a little sample of the Bad Girl Bang. I've loved this in the past, and I think Sephora had a sale where they had a kit with like 5 different mascaras, and try them on, then get a coupon for the one you want. It was a great way to try not only a couple new ones that I hadn't tried before, but also then get travel size filming table versions of some of my favorites because they just perform so well. So anyway, this is my date night look with the Up Till Dawn Artistry palette, and I think it's really stunning. And then this one, called this my work appropriate one. I would almost call this, early fall. Getting into a fall look with the kind of plumbing colors. Actually, yeah, I would wear that to work. This one, not so much, but this one I would. Okay, so I want to come back and do something kind of fun. I've got all of these hot pinks in here. Pink and fuchsia and kind of a lipstick red. And those are not colors I normally gravitate towards. So I'm going to take off this. I'm going to come back and let's do a third and final look. Be right back. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Relatively cleaned up again. Most of the eyeliner and stuff is off. Eyeliner, not really eyeliner. Mascara. That's what I meant to say. Most of the mascara is off. Let's do something with some of these other colors that kind of push my comfort zone. Actually, while we're at it, let's change that lip gloss too. That one's way prettier than I thought it was going to be, and I don't know if it's because I had it over that other lip liner or that it was just that good. So let's do the lip liner again. Just a real neutral brown lip liner. This one's Venus. Let's try Venus because this one I thought would be my favorite. So I just have the liner on, nothing else on my lips, and then a little bit of this gloss. And that feels light. It doesn't feel heavy at all. It's not like an ultra shiny glass-like gloss. It's just actually is a very comfortable formula. Morphe's got it made when it comes to these lip gloss formulas. I don't know if you guys have played around with them at all. There's 3 shades in here that are all very similar, which I think I've had this problem before with some of the Morphe palettes where they have a lot of pinks. I'm going to start with Shell Shocked, which is this one right here. And I'm just going to use it as my upper transition shade up here. Boy, that's so subtle on my lid. It barely even shows up. Just the slightest wash of a tint. I'm getting a ton of kick up because I've had to go into it several times. It just didn't give me much of anything at all. I'm actually going to try the next darker shade. This one's called Morning Glory. It seems like it has a little bit more of a purple undertone to it. And again, lots of kick up, so just be prepared for a messy palette. They didn't give me a ton either. I think this almost feels like it would require an eyelid primer. Well, I might as well go in with the darkest one. This is the most brilliant eye-catching shade in here. This one's called Turn Me Neon. Let's just see. This is far too big of a brush. We're gonna have neon right here. Okay, I feel like that as a matte is actually surprisingly wearable with no primer on underneath it, because it's sheer color. Yeah, that's okay. I was worried it was going to be so pigmented that I wouldn't be able to use it. That's actually kind of pretty. I'm going into it several times just to kind of build it up, saturation just a little bit. And there's so much kick up. And I'm just going to go ahead and take that a little higher too. Crease. Fuchsia color I've now taken all over my lid. I don't know that that formula is spectacular for what it would seem. I think if you're going to call yourself Turn Me Neon, I would expect a real bold neon, and that's just not giving it to me. I'm not super patchy, but I'm a little short of kind of where I wanted to be with that one. I'm gonna take this dark shade called Mystique, this one right here, and I still got the same brush. I don't think it's gonna matter because taking that dark brown out here, that's the shade that's gonna give me my shape and my drama and make wearing hot pink wearable for a lady of a certain age. In my opinion. You can disagree. That's okay. I feel like this is like Barbie pink, but not really. Okay. I think this brush that I'm using is being problematic. This is a Morphe M454, and I think this is way more of a blending brush than it is an application brush. So I'm going to switch. So I'm going to try to get a little bit more control in building up that shade, and I feel like I'm making a mess and not really getting the control that I want. All right, so maybe there is something different about these Morphe shadows than we've seen in other ones, because I don't really recall having a huge issue with the formula, but now I'm feeling like maybe I am. I feel like I'm just gonna be getting kind of messy and muddy and just a little all over the place. Bear in mind, I am not a makeup artist. I don't purport to be a makeup artist. Morphe's not saying, oh, Shelly's really good at our product, so therefore we're gonna send it to her. They didn't send me this. You guys know the drill already. All right, we're gonna save this right now. Hold on, I'm gonna grab that pink fuchsia again. Part of this, you guys, I think is me not using a primer, an eyelid primer. I should have. Part of this is me using a brush that I think is too big. But at the end of the day, I've made mistakes with tools and prep before and still managed to pull off a look. So let's just see what we can do here. I'm gonna grab one of these shimmery, actually, I'm gonna take this in a different direction. I'm gonna take the shade called Flare to Dare, which is this one right here. Look, it looks like it's a little bit of a greenish gold shade, and that might be more of a topper. Okay. I mean, I don't hate the direction that went in. That gives me that kind of grungy, almost disco look. Okay. I feel like I've got a lot of shadow in my contacts. Now my contacts are getting a little fuzzy. That doesn't bode well if you're a contact wearer and you're playing with shadows. Do you want it in your contacts? Probably not. The answer is probably not here. I'm gonna see if I can't clean up some of that glitter fallout. We're gonna take the shade called Flame Desire, this one right here, and I'm gonna take that underneath my lash line a little bit. I usually am kind of hesitant to put too much bright pink underneath my eyelashes, because I think it can give you that kind of rabbit look if you're not careful. Pink eye, you know? Keep it down just a little bit more. Maybe it's not so bad. Okay, I'm gonna go into the black, just deepen up that lash line again. Yeah, that's kind of fun in sort of like a grungy pink kind of way. I feel like I need a little something though. You know what? I'm just clean off that same pencil brush. I'm gonna go into Jungle Boogie, which is this olive green, and I'm gonna put that right there in my crease and just sort of wing it out just a little bit out right here. Okay, so bring it just a little bit. You know what? By looking at this palette, I really thought this was gonna be like, oh, this is the Morphe palette that I'm gonna fall in love with. And as I'm playing in it and building and changing all these shades and changing the direction I'm going, I'm gonna go back into Flare Dare, which is that topper shimmery color that I used initially, packing on more of it. As I'm doing all this and just going more and more, I'm realizing that one of the things that I think, even though this is an artistry palette, I think one of the things I've determined with some of these Morphe shades and Morphe shadows is that they work really well with like one or two shades. To do so much on such a small real estate might not work for every woman. Maybe they're really meant just for more you know, the younger group and not ladies of a certain age. I'm gonna take a little, you know what? I'm gonna take Cloudfall, which is this matte vanilla right here. I do like that this has not only the sparkly inner corner highlights, but also the mattes. I'm glad it has that too. Right, I'm taking that matte vanilla up here too. Yeah, and I think that matte vanilla called Cloudfall, it almost feels like it picked up a little bit of a pink tinge, which, you know, the more as I look at these, okay, that is, while it is dramatic, it's starting to grow on me. Let me put some mascara on because that always changes my mind about everything. Okay, I did not put on any additional eyeliner at all. I just put on some mascara. And as I expected, I like the look a lot more. It's green and pink, but it's like this grungy, edgy green and pink. And I don't mind that. I do feel like I maybe need to touch up my makeup just a little bit. So let's talk about this palette as I'm working on it here. Okay, I think I've been on a little bit of an emotional roller coaster with this palette. I think at first I was super excited, and then I was like, is this really working the way I wanted it to? And maybe I set different expectations. So do I think I can get multiple looks from the same palette, multiple looks that a lady of a certain age would wear that would fit into her lifestyle, variety of situations, work, daytime, date night, those types of things? Yes, I think I can get that with this palette. I think when it comes to like the work related looks, I think I'm stuck with this like warmer chestnut brown, this brown, these kind of yellowish sort of tan colors. Got a couple shimmers I can wear for work. You could do what I did here, which was use this shade and that to get, not this look, the looks that I did for my work look, this really kind of plummy burgundy color. I thought was actually really pretty. There are some shades in here that look just stunning that I didn't even try. This bronze right there, yeah, super pretty. Yeah, some of these shimmers are just gorgeous. This bronze color, that's gonna be the next shade that I use, guaranteed. Okay, you guys, that's it for my view on this. Do I think that I can get date night? Absolutely. Do I think that I can get work? Do I think that I can get fun, you know, playing around? Yeah, I think I did it. This actually, now that I have mascara on, I'm really enjoying this. With the pink. The fuchsia, or that neon color, didn't perform as well as I thought it would. I think I'm gonna have to try it again with the primer and see if that makes a difference. But I do like the combination. I think they give you a good combination. I'm real curious about this Midnight Splash. I wanna know how that's gonna work. The shade Ripples, this one right here, this looks gorgeous. Oh yeah, it's like a, I don't even know how to describe that. It's like a denim blue, but not, okay, since we're doing that, might as well swatch the dark blue next to it. Oh, what? Okay, that's pretty. All right, so at the end of the day, jury's out on this. You saw my emotions kind of go all over the place. Was I disappointed? Was I able to still pull off a look from somebody who's not a makeup artist? Yeah, I was. And I'm not unhappy with this. I'm actually not. Lip glosses, yeah, I'm glad I got them. Did I need all three? No, I think they're probably too similar in shades. The blush, I think, actually worked out really well. I feel like I lost a little bit of it. There's my blush brush here. A little bit of it as I was cleaning up in between looks. But even though it looks super dark in the pan, I'm not really getting copper too much on this. Maybe just a little bit. I think with copper, I'm thinking something a little bit more orange, and this does not lean orange. This is like a brick red burgundy. I like it. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. If you are feeling generous and kind and like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button. Come back around. I do tend to upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time, in case you wanted to do something while you're making dinner. I love feedback and comments from you guys, so tell me what you think of this palette. Did you even know that it released? Like I said, when I saw that it had been released and I saw pictures of it, I was genuinely confused and thought I had already had this palette and that I'd lost my damn mind, which does happen. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well, and I hope you guys consider sticking around. Until my next video, bye for now.